ingrained in a police cover-up.
On the scene to keep you informed at every turn.
In Dedham, Katie Benoit, NBC 10 News.
With live updates and legal analysis.
What happens then? Did the trial have to stop?
A lawyer's only as good as his or her word.
They failed miserably and they'll continue to fail.
On air, online, and on the app, NBC 10 News has the latest on the retrial of Karen Read.
Hi, everybody. I'm Gene Valicenti. NBC 10's Katie Benoit is with me. Also, NBC 10 legal analyst Austin Dana. We're going to talk about this is day 2 of the state's case in the Karen Read trial. A couple of witnesses called today we want to bring to your attention. Kelly Dver. She was with the police department, the local police department. She was working that night. NBC 10's Katie Benoit. What did Kelly do that night, and why was she called?
Sure. So she's now a Boston police officer. She's a former Canton police officer, and she worked dispatch the morning John O'Keefe was found outside of 34 Fairview. And she had spoken to federal investigators and had originally said that she saw Higgins as well as the Canton police chief go inside the Canton police garage with Karen Read's SUV for a long period of time. But she testified today that it was a mistake, that she had actually left work before the SUV arrived, so she couldn't have seen that. So the defense brought her in to ask some questions about that.
Well, that's a change of story. And so her testimony, she never left the building then. She never went to the scene. All right. Let's play the clip, and then, Austin, you can get in on this. Go ahead and play that clip.
Do you want to be here today?
I have no relation to this case, so...
I didn't ask you that. I asked you if you want to be here today.
Objection. This isn't direct.
So it's your witness.
I understand.
She can... No comments, just questions. Not, I understand that.
Do you want to be here today now?
I am put on the stand in a murder trial. I don't know why I'm here. I have no connection to this case.
You have no idea why you're here?
You've never talked to me. Nobody on the fence seems to talk to me since prior to the first trial. So I don't have any idea why I'm here.
No clue whatsoever, as you sit here, why you might have been called to the stand?
No.
Are you uncomfortable testifying?
No, it's part of my job.
You're a professional police officer, correct?
Correct.
That means you're a professional witness to a certain degree, correct?
In the crimes that I've gone on the stand before, yes, I have been.
Okay, that's a former patrolwoman, Kelly Dver. Doesn't want to be there, obviously. Austin, is that a hostile witness, and is that badgering the witness on the defense part? Take those two.
I don't think he's badgering her by any means. He's asking her if she wants to be there. Obviously, her demeanor was showing him that she didn't. I don't think she rose to the level of a hostile witness during this interaction, although she was very slow to give him any answers and very methodical with the answers that she was given. It was clear that she wasn't happy that they were calling her to the stand. I don't think she got to the level where she was hostile and he could ask leading questions of her, though.
Well, what's the significance if she doesn't want to be there? What's to come of this? What are they trying to show?
That she's trying to hide something. She knows why she's there. She's there because she made statements to the FBI saying that Higgins was in that garage for an extended period of time and she found it suspect. So she knows exactly what they want her to say and why she's called to the stand. And she was refusing to say it. Eventually, she had to come clean and let it known what she told the FBI.
Her story changed, right?
Exactly.
From trial 1 to the retrial, story changed. All right, let's go to, this is now Jonathan Deiamandez. Now, he is on a text chain involving the former lead prosecutor. Proctor is texting a few people. He's on this text chain. Apart from being on the text chain, what's the significance of calling him today, Katie? Why is he being called? He's not a, well, what does he do? Who is he? And why was he significant today?
Sure. So like you said, he's one of Michael Proctor's friends. He was called to basically say, yes, these are the text messages that I received, to let those text messages come into court. It's unclear if Proctor is going to be called. That might be a question after this witness testified that Austin might be able to answer. It maybe looks not so likely, but he basically was able to say, confirm these were text messages that he received, and these text messages were inappropriate text messages, and those were able to be read for the jury.
Okay, and at one point, Deiamandez doesn't want to read those texts, right, Austin? Because he's embarrassed, or what's the reason he doesn't want to read those texts? That's what our clip has to do. Do I have to read these? Go ahead.
Right. He felt uncomfortable reading Proctor's words, which were in the text messages. He didn't write them. He didn't want to read them in open court. So they went to sidebar, and it was agreed that the prosecutor would read the text and then ask him if he read the text correctly.
Because the text use inappropriate language. Go ahead. Let's roll this bite and let's listen to this little argument going back and forth.
These messages begin at 11:05:57 p.m., run through 11:06:39 p.m. on January 29, 2022. Does it begin with comments from Mr. Proctor?
It does.
Could you read all of them, please?
These are not my words. I'm not really comfortable reading these. Do I have to say these words out loud?
So I'm going to see you at sidebar.
Austin, apart from being a friend of Proctor, who's knee deep in all of this, is this guy just a guy who was on a friend's text chain? I mean, I have text chains. You have text chains. I don't think a third party would be forced to read my messages back and forth to him, particularly in this kind of a thing. Is that about it?
That's about it. The purpose of bringing him in is to authenticate the texts and get them into evidence. So that's the only reason that he was there. He was part of the text train. He saw the texts, and he could put them into evidence without the defense having to call Proctor.
Okay, years ago, this would be isolated in a courtroom with maybe the people who came inside to sit in the gallery and watch. Today, this guy is on TV with you and me tonight. He's going to be on all over social media. It's going to live forever. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. Sorry, you picked the wrong guy to be friends. Is that the upshot here, Austin?
I think so, because he really didn't do much beyond being on a text train. That was the extent of his involvement in this case.
Wow. And that's going to live forever. All right, Katie, before we go out to Karen coming out of court today, what she's commenting and making comments on testimony, do you know specifically what she's talking about? Were you there today for the walkout?
Yes, she was talking about the testimony from the Canton police officer who testified, the former Canton police officer who testified earlier today, about how she changed her story. So she was called into the Boston police commissioner's office, and Karen's reactions outside of court kind of has to do with that and the witness's story changing from before the first trial to now.
Okay, it used to be the local cop in the town where the alleged crime happened. Now she's up in Boston, and this is Karen commenting on the witness who said, "I don't know why I'm here today," and obviously doesn't want to be there. Let's roll that and listen.
Are you suggesting that Dver may have been coaxed into changing her testimony?
Yes. What's your reaction to her demeanor
I didn't
in general?
suggest it. She did. When she was called into the commissioner's office, the story completely changed, recanted. So I don't think it was a suggestion. I think I heard what you heard.
But wasn't she confronted with data from the FBI that said, no, the car wasn't there by the time you left?
This is the first I've ever heard that. I have no knowledge of anything like that.
Did you expect her to be like that on the stand today?
I've never seen, met, or heard her voice before, so I didn't know.
What's your response to her accusations of pressuring her to perjure herself?
We subpoenaed her to testify to what she told other authorities and just wanted her to be as honest with us as she was with them. And today she's now telling us that was a lie. So we just wanted her to repeat what she told other law enforcement agencies under penalty of perjury.
Karen, never told her to lie.
Thank you.
You never told her to lie.
Never.
Okay, Karen Reed today. Significance of the witness today. She told one story, told another. Well, she told one story earlier, changed the story on the stand. Resonates with the jury, or the jury's, I don't know. A lot of stuff passing this jury, Austin.
Yeah, I think that this will resonate with the jury, though, because it was clear that she had told a story that she was very adamant about, and then tried to back off of that and say, no, this is just a false memory that I have after meeting with the commissioner and all these other meetings going on in the background. So it is very suspicious the way that her testimony came out during this trial.
And by the way, she's talking about the car in the custody of the local police department. Those two were out there leading credence to the defense's story that somebody fiddled with that car, and ultimately somebody fiddled with the body or made this happen. It wasn't Karen Reed. All right, Katie Benoit, take the last word. What's coming up next?
Sure. So Dr. Marie Russell started her testimony today. She'll be back for more cross-examination. She's a doctor, and she testified today that she believes that John O'Keefe's injuries on his arm came from a dog attack. She testified in the first trial as well, and she'll be back for more cross-examination tomorrow.
Okay, so that the scratches on the arm came from a dog bite. Of course, the state says no, the scratches on the arm came from when you backed into him and that tail light scraped them, and that has to do with the paint showing up on the demonstration from the other day. All right, Austin, thanks. NBC 10's Katie Benoit, thanks. We'll see you again tomorrow for another Karen Reed retrial debrief. And now I'm Gene Valicenti in the newsroom. See you at 6.